Welcome to South Sound Podcast, where we talk about some of our favorite musicians around the world. We got Ohrion here with me today. The Black Master? I'll read your description. When's the last time you've heard your description read out loud?
On YouTube?
Yeah.
Oh, bro, I don't even know. What does it even says?
A Canadian
I guess
reactor.
it's just like a one-liner, right? Yeah, Canadian reactor that is creating the blast community for the metalheads. Let's fucking get into our buds.
I'm glad you read that because I would have failed. We're going to talk about a lot of topics
say it like a
today.
Canadian.
Yeah, I would have fucked that up completely. We got a lot of topics today. We're going to talk about Gojira. We're going to talk about some of the best metal bands to check out that are gateway into metal. We're just riffing off of Tank the Text video, checking that out. And we're going to talk about his channel a bit. So make sure you go subscribe to him if you haven't already. He does a lot of reactions similar to what I do. You've done some Japanese bands too, some pretty big artists. You've done Hanabiye, you've done Babymetal, and I'm missing some other ones. I know you've done more than that.
Sorry, say that first one. Hunami Bay? What? Is that Hanabi? Am I been saying it wrong the whole time?
You've been saying it wrong the whole time.
Shit. Yeah, they were just on tour with Left to Suffer, and I'm so sad that I miss it because those girls they go hard.
Yeah, they do. They go really hard. Oh, you've done Jiluka too.
I love Jiluka. Jiluka and Dexcore are my go-to bands when it comes to more metalcore, deathcore kind of style metal. Yeah, those ones. Jiluka's just a lot of fun too.
Bro, I saw Jiluka live. Insane. I wanted them to stop playing because it was too much. I was like, it was just nonstop, going 300 miles an hour. I was like, dude, stop. And then they did an encore.
I need to see your fingers. What are you playing?
And then you just have all the fucking noises just going crazy during the entire show. And then they did an encore, and I'm like, I don't want an encore. This is the first band. I'm like, I don't want an encore. Are you going to play something slow? Because I'm done. Even the mosh pit was dying, dude. They couldn't even keep up anymore.
Oh my God. That's crazy. I feel like people aren't really doing as many encores nowadays. I feel at least here on these tours, these guys are literally they just say, this is our last song. Don't do encores. We're not coming back out type deal. And I feel like that's happening a lot more these days.
Yeah. In the Japanese world, only Bandmate does that. They will refuse to do an encore, but they also play a 2-hour fucking set.
Jeez, yeah. I'd be tired too. Imagine if I did encores after my live freaking streams or something like that. Yeah, here's 5 more songs that I'm going to react to. And it's just no, I'm tired, man. I need to get off.
And you know how Jiluka sounds, right? Imagine they tell you we're doing an encore. Bro, you just played for 40 minutes and blasted me in the face. You're going to keep going now?
Yeah, they're a lot of fun, man. That's super so good. I'm pumped that you got to see those bands. I wanted to go see Babymetal when they came through, but yeah, that's another Japanese band that I do some reactions on. I honestly, their last album was a lot of fun as well. I quite enjoyed it. I didn't think I was going to, but I did.
And we're going to talk about that a little bit later too, because I'm curious about Babymetal, because it doesn't really fit what you react to the most of. So it is cool that you are starting to enjoy Babymetal. I want to make you feel old real quick. You want to feel old for a second?
Not really, because I want people to guess in the comments, how old do you think I actually am? Because I love it. I love hearing that. I don't know if you've ever tested this with people. Are you the same age as me? I don't know if we discussed that.
I think we are. I think we were the same age.
So I just turned 35, but I get a lot of people that tell me that I look 26, 27. I'm like, fuck yeah.
Bro, we're the same age. I'm 30. That's a lie. I'm 36, but pretty close. I just turned 36, not just. All right, Jacoby Shaddix from Papa Roach and Daltrey, which I don't know if a lot of people know what Daltrey is, but he's a famous singer, played on American Idol. He got famous because of American Idol. These two artists both made me feel pretty old because I was looking up some rock news to talk about with Ohrion, and guess what show they decided to do just recently?
You said Papa Roach, and who was the other one? I don't even think I know the other two.
Daltrey. He's a famous rock singer that was on American Idol. He became big because he was one of the first that brought rock music onto there and did that kind of harsher vocals.
Oh, sweet. Yeah.
It's
so guess what? Guess what?
Yeah,
show they're playing, or who's on their tour?
No, not
I have
show.
No
I'm
idea.
sorry. They're on a game show, and they're playing.
Oh, a game show.
Family Feud.
Oh, that's awesome. Okay, cool.
For me, I was like, I just felt old. I'm like, damn, they're going on that show that my grandma used to sit on the couch and watch during the daytime.
Bro, I would still watch that if I actually use cable nowadays. Family Feud was a lot of fun.
I can't believe Family Feud has a whole fucking channel.
Like, I bet. No, there you go. I'm gonna go watch that from now on. Forget metal news.
Yeah, let's just react to this. Our favorite metal bands are going to be on here in the future. I know Papa Roach isn't full on metal, but they're a version of metal. They were. I don't know how much.
Yeah, they still got some heavy chunk, dude. There was a song I think it released off their latest album or something like that, and I believe they had 3 bless in one song. And I was like, no, that's crazy.
So let's check this out.
Is that the whole band on here? Like the band is playing Family Feud?
I don't know. Like, I think they're together on one side. I just found the clip. Oh yeah, I don't know. I think it's a bunch of musicians.
I think it's the whole band. I don't know. Yeah, but that's cool though. If it is, that'd be cool to have like bands against bands for this. This would be fucking sick.
But yeah, so when I saw this, I was like, damn, I feel old.
Yeah.
Just imagining you walking into your grandma's house and then she's watching Family Feud and Jacoby Shaddix on fucking Family Feud. I was just like, what?
I'd be like, damn. Have reacted that guy. Have you seen the Falling in Reverse version of that? And blah, blah, blah. Yeah.
Dude, if Falling in Reverse did Family Feud, that'd be hilarious. Would Ronnie
oh my god, Ronnie Rodkey would get banned off that, I'm sure.
Yeah,
but he would bring a lot of views into it. That's for sure.
It would. They've been doing the whole celebrity thing, and then they like donate money. I'm not gonna lie. Every once in a while, I get sucked into some Family Feud if this pops up on my YouTube. Probably why I found out about this. But all right, Gojira, French metal band. I never was a huge fan of this band, actually. I'd never really listened to them until I heard about them being like one of the first metal bands to do the Olympics. So, of course, I checked out the song they did. I was actually pretty surprised with how it sounded. It sounded pretty good from what I have heard. And I'm definitely going to react to some new Gojira or try to check out some of the newer stuff. So let me know down below in the comments like what I should check out or what Ohrion should check out. Because you haven't done many either. You've done like one reaction, right?
Yeah, I don't even think it's up on the channel or anything like that, but I have heard like maybe 1 or 2 songs, probably from stream or something like that. But yeah, I do not listen to Gojira. Like I heard about the Olympics thing. I thought it was really cool, putting metal on the map there. And yeah, I still haven't even checked out the performance. I'll probably check it out and make a video for it as well. But honestly, I think it's really cool to put metal like that on the map, but maybe I'm just not listening or haven't heard the right song yet to get into Gojira. So yeah, I'm stoked to talk a little bit more about it. I read the article from Rolling Stones that you sent me over just to glaze over to get a little bit more familiar with it. So pretty pumped to dive into this one.
Hell yeah. For the podcast listeners, I'm going to read this off so I can paint a picture for y'all. Pretty much, Gojira does go, I guess this is off of Rolling Stone. They go and talk about, we wanted to show what metal was all about. So this is after the fact, after they did this performance. Band singer guitarist corrects the record. He said, it's French history, beheaded people, red wine, and blood all over the place. It's romantic. It's normal. There's nothing satanic. What a fucking quote, man.
It's not satanic.
So we have a picture here of them pretty much playing like in a castle, like outside of the windows and stuff, which I was like, this is probably one of the more crazier performance I've seen from a metal band. We've seen people flip their drums upside down and do some weird stuff. Oh, Rammstein has crazy stage performances for sure. Gave me that kind of vibe. But I don't know if anything like this, like we're just gonna play out the window of castle. I wonder how much of a bitch that was to set up. But so a little description of the ceremony to set the stage for all you guys listening. So the opening ceremony on Friday was hoping for a big pop performances like Celine Dion and Lady Gaga's. Was probably not prepared to see Marie beheaded and bloody singing the 19th century French anthem A Caída. I'm probably saying that wrong. I just pronounced it like Spanish. With the French heavy metal Gojira, the quartet took the reins and decapitated the queen and ending her reign with double kick bass drums. So the rhythm, and I don't even know how to say that, thematic rhythm guitar, and frontman Joe growled interpretation of the lyrics, which insists that after revolution, everything will be just fine. So for each member of the band, guys, so the drummer, the lead guitarist, bassist performed their parts outside of windows in Paris's Concierge Palace with fire spraying every which way in front of them, and mezzo-soprano Marina gliding by on a ship singing the song as opera. So it's crazy performance, dude. Just like reading the description of it is insane.
Yeah. Reading it makes me really want to go check out the video now.
Right? And I think it's getting blocked though everywhere, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not sure though yet. I haven't checked it out either.
Too satanic, that's why.
You're right. The performance only ran about 2.5 minutes, which is crazy. Super short for all this to happen. But between the jaw-dropping surrealist visuals of Gojira's bang your head until it falls off aggression, I love the description, dude.
Yeah.
It became one of the most talked about moments of the night. There's been backlash from some right-wing commentators who were quick to denounce the performance as satanic propaganda. But for metalheads, it was different kind of validation, recognition of the genre on the world stage. They always got to bring fucking politics into it. People have been saying fucking metal's been satanic for years. Like, when is that? The description doesn't help. I'll give them that. The description doesn't help that much. But
for sure.
I don't know. What do you think about this whole thing?
I think it's really cool, man. I glazed over everything on that article, and guys, as much as I don't want too much going into it, like I need a little bit more of an idea for it. But yeah, to expect that like Celine Dion and Lady Gaga's out there, I was reading through it, and it was cool to hear. They could have picked someone much bigger, like Metallica or AC/DC, to represent that, but they chose Gojira. So like I don't know too much about it, but like it sounds like they had to make a whole new song for this as well, and then they had like specific things where they had to use like the French anthem part out. I can't remember the actual word for it, but like I just thought it was really neat to see. And the fact that they're playing in this big giant castle, they had like, no time to perform. They had, or sorry, not perform, no time to like rehearse or anything like that. They did everything through Zoom. I think it's a very big challenge. And I think they recognize that in that Rolling Stones article there, or like the interview thing. So they just pictured it as an actual challenge to them. Like it was raining the time that they were playing. So it's like keeping everything dry. You fully make up. And I think the one guy was like saying he only went up the stairs or whatever to get out to the balcony of where he was playing.
Yeah.
And he did that once 3 days ago before actually doing it. So the next time he did it was like live. So I'd be scared shitless. For one, I hate heights. So like playing up there, be like vertigo, fall off or something. But they got, yeah, that'd be freaking crazy with like flamethrowers out everywhere, the pyro and shit. Like that's a huge performance.
The humidity just from that, because you have that heat flying at you while it's raining. I think it was very cool that it was held in France, right? So the fact that they chose a band from their country was awesome. And would there be another band or artist that they could choose that is big in France other than Gojira? I don't think so, right? I think Gojira is...
Let's get landmarks out there.
Yeah. I think Gojira is worldwide known. Everybody's heard of them. Maybe you haven't listened to them, but you've heard the name Gojira. But I can't think of another artist. Let me know in the comments. Nothing's coming to my mind, but I'm pretty ignorant to other music scenes outside of metal and rock. So
I hear you.
Right? I really can't think of one. Can you think of a French artist that's big around the world?
Not off the top of my head. It's like when I think French, like I'm more of a metalcore guy, so I think of like Landmarks or something like that is who I just love. But they're not that big yet. But I feel like they could eventually go to maybe that big, but I think it'd be cool to see something like that.
I'm literally typing in famous bands from France. So this is what I got. I don't know any of these. So Gojira's on here, right? We got Daft Punk.
Oh, I've heard of Daft Punk.
They're from France? Okay. I
didn't know that either.
One. How about artists? What about artists? So Gojira is on the list when I type in famous bands from France. So I've heard of Daft Punk. I haven't heard of those other ones that are shown here. So here's the artist. And I don't know any of these artists at all. So for those that are listening, I'm not going to try to pronounce all of these. But if you're watching, you can see on here. I'm not. And I think half of these people are dead.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I'm like, those dates don't look pretty accurate to like today's world.
So I guess so my point is, I think that's why they chose Gojira. I guess you could have chose Daft Punk. I've heard of that name. But Gojira might be one of the bigger artists as of right now. So I think that might be why they went with them. You know?
Yeah, I agree with that for sure. I don't know too much about them again, but it's just really cool. And I think what really got them more excited about this is just representing the whole metal scene and just being able to like push the boundaries for metal and to show people like, yes, we can get to this stage. I think a lot of people underestimate metal and where it's been, because there's been like some crazy bands out there that are already bringing in other influences or other collabs. Look at Spirit Box with Megan Stallion and bringing like a whole new demographic to the metal scene or the heavier scenes. I think we'll probably talk a lot about that later on in this podcast, but I think it's really cool to see like metal just getting out there and being more of a mainstream thing. I guess it's like a mainstream depending if what you're listening to, but it feels more normal. And then you're not just hearing Celine Dion, Taylor Swift, and all these other big artists that are just like record selling selling millions and millions of records every day.
Well, this leads into the next topic. Metal's becoming popular. It really is. I think it is becoming a popular genre. So that being said, now that it's becoming popular, what happens to all the elitists? Are they going to stop listening to metal and then go to rap and pop?
I don't think so. They'll still be elitist, to be honest.
No, they'll be like, you got to only listen to the cool metal bands that aren't famous, right? Yeah. That's what they're going to go to. That's crazy. Imagine being like, oh, Gojira's not good. They're not underground anymore. You know?
I hate when people say that. It's like when bands aren't good. I feel like, and we'll probably get into this later on, but like I hate when people are just like, dude, that band sucks, or like, why are you promoting this band and this and that? Like, it just drives me nuts. It's like, dude, like I like what I like, and I would expect other people to like what they like. So for them to like get annoyed with me just listening to music or even getting suggestions from people to listen, like you're gonna what you like. So stop gatekeeping this shit and saying like you can only listen to certain music, and that just drives me bonkers.
You're not allowed, dude. Sorry, you can't like what you want.
I can't even say that. Not allowed to even say that.
You can't even make those comments. You're not allowed to have your own thoughts or opinions.
Yeah, metal just got political now. Like
it will though,
guys.
Metal will get political. This article in itself was already getting political. They brought politics to it right away. And it's going to happen with any popular genre, right? It happens with rap and hip hop, right? That's probably the biggest genre right now, right? And it's slowly, I feel like it's fading off a little bit. Not too much. It's still really big. I don't think any genre really dies, honestly. I think it just goes into remission. How do you say it? Remission? Yeah, it just goes to the side and comes back up, becomes big again. It just goes through cycles. Yeah. But with metal, has it ever been like huge? Maybe you could argue in the 70s and 80s. You had versions of it. Yeah, I remember like Black Sabbath back then was considered metal, and that's totally, now it's just considered hard rock, right?
True. So,
but this kind of leads into the not gatekeeping bands, but the bands that introduce people to new metal, like the gateway bands. We're going to talk about Tank the Tech's video. So this is a perfect segue. So we're going to talk about, he has a list of what he thinks are the bands that would get people into metal. There's some I agree with, there's some that I'm like, I don't know, because of how famous they are. I actually agree with the last band he chose. We'll just start with this band off the gate. He mentions Nickelback, and I think Nickelback is probably the strongest band on his list that actually gets people into metal. I completely agree with him because Nickelback is fucking famous as fuck, right? Mm-hmm. They are well known, whether you hate them or love them. Obviously, people love them. I hate it when people are just like, they shit on them.
Look at this photograph.
It's just cool to hate on them, right? That's what it is. It's just cool to hate on them, so people.
Dude, it's funny. So Nickelback actually like embraces that whole like photograph thing, and I think I saw like on an interview with them. And they were just laughing at it. They're like, this is just fucking hilarious and it's helping us grow. So it's, yeah, go for it. We're laughing with you because it's just fucking hilarious. So I love how like chilled and relaxed that they are about the trolls in the heavier rock scene and stuff. So I totally agree with Tank's thing. And they're Canadian. I didn't realize that until today after watching his video. I'm like, oh shit, they're from Alberta. That's
I was about to
awesome.
ask you, like, they're Canadian, right?
Yeah, I didn't. I didn't. I know Sum 41 is Canadian. Avril Lavigne's. Yeah, it was more like the skater punk kind of thing. Yeah, you were a loser in high school if you listen to Nickelback. And even I'm dead serious. And the reason, what was it? Linkin Park as well. For some reason, the school that I went to, if you listen to Linkin Park or like Good Charlotte, you're a loser. So I'm like,
I loved Good Charlotte.
Good Charlotte
man.
was my shit. Yeah.
Yeah, I loved Good Charlotte. I still can go back listening. Good Charlotte is really slept on nowadays. They were
really? I haven't heard them in ages.
No, just in general, nobody brings them up in conversation that I've seen. But that band was ahead of its time as far as even the fashion style that they had and that everybody's doing now. Like what? Because back then everyone was like, "Oh, this is gross," but they were big. Like somebody liked them. Somebody liked them. But going back to what you're saying, definitely Nickelback was a band that I just didn't like. I actually really did not like that band. But I didn't hate them. I love Linkin Park though. I absolutely love Linkin Park. But I liked anything like new metal at the time.
Yeah, Nickelback was pretty cool. I didn't mind them. There was like, I think it was Animal. I think that just had that cool like upbeat like. I'm driving like I'm black. Just got my license back. I got this feeling in my penis, and then I whisper, "What was that?" Just had this really good rhythm.
This feeling in my penis. That's what you were about to say, wasn't it?
Yeah, maybe it was because I just love Nickelback so fucking much. I just got this feeling.
We're clipping that. We're clipping that right there. Ohrion loves Nickelback this much.
This much. There's your clickbait tail. This. Whoa. Look at people clicking. Ohrion Nickelback. Holy shit! Why is there an eggplant on there? I don't know. But no, I think they've helped a lot of people get into a little bit more of those faster guitars, and you could skip over to AC/DC or Metallica, but I don't even listen to those bands. But like some Nickelback goes pretty hard, to be honest. I don't mind it. The last couple songs they dropped, I heard they were heavier, so I was like, yeah, sure, let's check it out and see what it's all about. So I have no hate towards them. I think they're huge in the industry. Obviously, they are winning lots of awards. Man, they're killing it for sure. So as a gateway band, I think it's good for people that might listen to a lot lighter stuff.
They're the biggest gateway into metal just because of what you said earlier. They became a meme. If you become a meme, you're like golden, man.
Bro, I'm a meme. People fucking meme me because of the black, man. People comment on my stuff saying, bro, you're just a fucking meme. I'm like, yeah, I'm going to be famous now.
Was that Stephen He? The emotional damage guy? Bro, his whole career...
Emotional damage!
His whole career is based off that meme. Now, the rest of the bands on this list, as much as I love some of these bands, they're nowhere near Nickelback, honestly. If we're talking about gateway to metal, I would say
size-wise.
Yeah, the second to that list, maybe Sleep Token. Sleep Token, definitely, for sure, has jumped that list. And I guess you could say Sabaton also. But is there another band you could think of outside of this list we're about to go over that you consider a good gateway to metal?
I don't know, man. Like I feel like everybody's journey is different. And these are just based off of Tank's personal endeavors and just what he's been listening to and whatnot. Sure. So I agree with that for sure. And like his opinion is his opinion. Would I recommend some of these bands to get into metal and stuff like that? Maybe not. That Nickelback probably wouldn't be like my first thing to go to, but I never really listened to it. But yeah, he's got a couple on here, but I would definitely maybe suggest Spirit Box in a way. But if anything, I feel like Bring Me the Horizon probably should have been on that list, to be honest. They started as like deathcore metal, like heavy, and then broadened their horizons as they went on. So like I fell in love with them and I still like some of their music, and even their new stuff is pretty fun to listen to too. So I feel like you can go down the rabbit hole of that and get so far where it's like, nope, too much metal on this. I'll stick Sevenfold or something like that. So I think that would be like one of my gateway kind of, if you want to get into metal, that's probably like the band I would number one recommend.
Bring Me the Horizon is a really good one, man. That is really good because you're absolutely right. If you're like listening to the band and you're like, all right, I'm done with this album. I listened to it over and over again. Let me check out another album. Oh, this is really good. And you get to heavy stuff. It could go two ways, right? You'd be like, I love this band so much, I'm going to give it a chance. And maybe you'll listen to it over and over again. I don't know how many people are listening to the albums front to back anymore, but you might actually give them a chance. That's a really good one. And they're still recent. They're still putting out music.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Another one, he mentioned some other bands, but a band that I would always show people that I think would get people into metal is Avenged Sevenfold. 100%. Avenged Sevenfold. Now Babymetal is one that I definitely agree with him on this list, that I would show like maybe some people that listen to like pop and stuff. That would be a good gateway, I think, for the people. So everyone has their specific thing, right? Electric Callboy is a really good one. I never even heard of Bilmuri until this watching his video. I didn't even know. So I don't even know anything about that artist. Do you?
Oh, Bilmuri's cool, man. Again, Tank is awesome. I love his videos because he's very informative, and I maybe need to watch more of it because I don't get a chance to watch these videos. But like, he brings up Bilmuri, and I did listen to his last album. I did a whole review on that one too, and I didn't realize he was the former vocalist of Attack. So I'm like, oh, dude, I thought it was just Caleb. That was just that guy.
Yeah.
But apparently, yeah, he was a part of that band and then made it that whole country style, but like with some heavy parts in it. So it's almost like, if I were to describe it, and it's probably a very loose description, I would say it's not like country goes like Sleep Token breakdowns kind of thing. Like, it's got some cool spots, and it's got the jazz stuff in there too. So that has the saxophones. It's got a little bit of stuff for everybody. It's got some punk rock riffs in it. And I'm like, dude, this is like all of my genres in one. So I think I would totally agree. As much as like Bilmuri, I feel like just started blowing up now. But then even Tank says he has a very good country vocals. So he'd be a very good country artist. I could see him blowing up. I can see that as well. He's very good with that. But then apparently Bilmuri is considered in the metal genre. And I'm like, wow. Okay. I didn't really, I wouldn't put that on there for that. Yeah. But if people consider him as a metal band, then maybe I'm not listening to enough of it. But he's got some really cool collabs that he's done with as well. Yeah. I know the one that Tank mentioned on there. I don't know him, but like, he played a clip of it. I'm like, dude, this actually sounds really sick. And it was Mitchell Tenpenny or something like that. I'm like, I texted my wife after I listened to that this morning. I'm like, yo, you heard of this guy? Because we've been listening to a lot of Zach Bryan lately. So I've been kind of like going down the whole like country road and loving some good stuff like that. So
I'm actually, and this was the purpose of this video, right? Even us as metal listeners, I heard Bilmuri on this video, and I actually liked the song that he showed a clip of. I thought it was funny too, like the comedic clip where he like zooming on his ass and like on his face right afterwards. I'm like, okay, this guy's funny. I like his humor. This is hilarious. So I'm already intrigued. I'm looking forward to react to some stuff. But you said you did a whole album review. What was your overall thoughts when you heard the album?
I thought it was really cool, man. For what it was, like, it's not something I would usually go out of my way to listen to, but I had a lot of my viewers asking for it and check out the new Bilmuri. And so what I did I rode my bike. I have an Insta 360 and I hooked it up to my bike, and I'm like, man, I'm in go mode of like exercising. So put on a wireless mic and hooked it up with my 360 and just rode my bike and listened to it and just threw it up there. And I was like, okay, this is cool. So you see like my facial expressions, obviously, and like listening to it, I'm like, this is really cool. So it's got catchy riffs. It's got very good melodies. I think overall on it, I think I gave it like a good like 8.5 because of like the genre that he's doing. It's refreshing. It's different. And yeah, I can see him like going on tour, like especially with his humor and everything, like go on tour with somebody like Electric Callboy. But speaking of tours, like he's actually on tour right now or going on tour with Sleep Token. So like, for him to have this like blow up thing, he's going on tour with another blow up band kind of thing like Sleep Token. So it's crazy to see and hear that stuff and where metal's going.
That's very true. I think I'm really looking forward to reacting to Bilmuri. So I'm probably gonna check out that song first they showed. So shout out to Tank for like bringing some new bands to my world that I even think about. The only band I didn't agree with on this list was Bloodywood. I don't see how that's the gateway to metal. Maybe it is. They did have that one song that really got a crap ton of listens that put him on the map, where he's like walking through the streets or whatnot. I can't remember which. That was the first one. I remember when that was blowing up all over social media for a while. But that was the only one. I was like, I don't know about that one. But what do you think about Bloodywood?
Bloodywood's really cool. I don't know if I actually listened to the whole entire album, but there was one, like, I like them. I think they're really cool. They're different. There's no other band out there that's really doing that, but there is one like smaller metal band that I'm coming across. It's like on the form of Bloodywood, but just not as instrumental and wide as they go for the instruments and stuff. And I can't remember the freaking name for the life of me. I think it's Hakari. or something like that.
Hikari.
And they're like Indian based as well. So you hear like some of the Indian inspirations in there. And I think it sounds really cool. So like for Bloodywood to take it to that whole new level with the rap and that, I think it's really cool. It's like Indian new metal kind of deal, right? Like it's like really different. It's unique and it's catchy. And I can see where people would like to get into that stuff, but like maybe something for the rappers. And I think his list here that he has, I think every band has a purpose. Yeah. And I think that's why it has a wide variety of things. Yeah, and like Bloodywood, I feel like is still new. They haven't really put anything out new since then. They blew up from covers. Again, this is why I love watching Tank's informational videos. That they blew up from covers, and then as soon as they dropped that album, they went wild with it. So I'm looking forward to seeing what they do. Is it a gateway band? Maybe. It is a little aggressive as well. If you were to put that in someone's ear. They definitely could.
I saw them live, absolutely amazing, and I got the same vibes you did when I first heard them. I felt that new metal style, and I'm a new metal fan, so when I heard them, I was like instantly loved them out the gate. A lot of their songs are really good, a lot of energy, and live they killed it.
That's awesome to hear, though.
So I'm at Aftershock, and I couldn't believe they came all the way over here. I hope they're still going strong. I think they were planning on dropping a new album soon, or in the works, or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But Babymetal, I think, is a really good gateway for people. And not only I think they're a good gateway band into metal, they're a good gateway into other genres for someone like myself that was more of a metal or rock fan. When I became, I don't want to say obsessed, when I fell in love with Baby, because I love the band a lot, as a lot of on this channel, something about the melodies and the heavy technical guitar riffs, I love it. I love higher vocals too. So I think that's another reason why I just absolutely love this band. But they got me listening to other genres for sure. They got me going into the reverse side where I'm like, oh, let me listen to some more pop stuff that I ignored. But I'm really more into the technical pop, if that makes sense. Like Lisa from Japan. She has like very intricate chord progressions that I like. And as a musician, it intrigues me, to hear how she does
like
certain
Lisa
melodies.
From Blackpink? Lisa?
No, Lisa, Japanese vocalist. I know, every time I say Lisa, like Blackpink.
I automatically go to Blackpink for some reason. Yeah.
Everyone
Which
does.
Blackpink is a lot of fun. Like for a pop band like that, I think it's a lot of fun to especially react to. Their videos are cool.
Yeah, they have interesting
songs. They do have interesting songs. And I think it was like one of their, it's like How You Like That. That was one of my favorite ones, but their production is insane. I think it's Blackpink, but they actually spend like millions of dollars on their fucking music videos too. Like they bring out tanks, they dazzle them up and stuff. And this is wild. So, yeah.
Babymetal, I think, is just a reverse. Like it could gateway you into so many other things, because even the other one album is completely different. It gets you into more symphonic style of music during certain parts of the album, and they get you into maybe some rapping vibes, like with BMC. It gets you more open-minded to all genres because they blend so much, but they have this really consistent sound or cohesive sound in their music. And you always know it's Babymetal, especially when Sue starts singing. You just know it's them. And I'm curious, what are your thoughts on Babymetal? Because I always go to your channel. I'm like, I can't imagine you liking Babymetal because of the music you listen to. So just curious, what are your honest thoughts on Babymetal?
I like them. I think they're very cool. I like the history about them as well. They started since they were like 12 years old kind of thing. And like, just to see them grow from that perspective. We look at, what's his name from fucking Canada too? Justin Bieber. You look at him, they picked him up off YouTube. Canada? And yeah, he's from, I think, Stratford, Ontario.
Like, I did not know that. I did not know that.
There's a lot of Canadian bands that they definitely have made big. So it's like people like that. And I feel like that's just like another Japanese version of that kind of thing. So, and how big they are. But yeah, I think you're correct on that. Like it helps people get different genre picking in there.
Hold up. Did you just say Babymetal is a Japanese version of Justin Bieber?
No, I mean that in a way of because they were so young and like now they're like super big.
Okay, gotcha.
Not pop wise. No.
I'm gonna take that clip out of context too for people.
Yeah, sorry.
Orion says Babymetal is the Justin Bieber of Japan. Sorry.
No,
Sorry,
but yeah,
I get what you're saying
now you do.
Okay.
But yeah, I love their production. I love the way that they like collab with people. Like they have collabs with Electric Callboy, even Bring Me the Horizon as well. So it's like for those hardcore fans that are just really Bring Me the Horizon, they'll go back and check out those other bands, especially if they liked it with someone on from Bring Me the Horizon. Then maybe they go down that way. And Bring Me the Horizon is a lot more heavier, in my opinion, than Babymetal, or at least they used to be. I think it's a lot of fun in that aspect. I love reacting to them when there is some good stuff that I enjoy listening to. There's still some songs on there where I'm like, yeah, it's fun, but it's not something I would go back to. I do think they are a little bit of a reaction style band if you were to look at people like you and myself.
Yeah.
And I think that's where a lot of people will fall down because you can react to them. You'll get a lot of views from it and it'll help blow up your channel and stuff. But then you're getting a lot of very hardcore fans of like Babymetal and that.
Yeah.
And I just like dibble dabbling in it when I can and when I see a really cool collab. But I listened to the whole of their newest album and I thought it was really good. The guitar work in it was fantastic. It's like a super band in a way as well. They have some, I don't remember the band members that like play with them, but I hear they're like from really big bands. I can't remember. I don't know.
The famous guitarist, like from the Mikio who passed away, rest in peace. He had his own thing on the side with a bunch of other famous artists like Bo, who plays bass with Babymetal. Omura is really big. I can't remember all their projects. They have a lot of other projects, but they're known in Japan as very like virtuoso guitar players and musicians. And they've done a lot of stuff together off to the side. There's so many projects that they've all done. And then you have Leda, who's a famous guitarist that he has his own projects. So they've had a lot of rotating musicians. And right now, the drummer that they have that's playing with them on all the live shows, and I'm forgetting his name right now.
It's not the drummer from Shadow of Intent, is it?
I think it is, yes.
Okay, I was going to say that, and I wasn't too confident in it.
Anthony Barone.
I don't know exactly his name. I feel like I heard like Shadow of Intent drummer for Babymetal. I could have swore it was that, but again, an amazing drummer as well. Yeah, but it's cool. Like these,
Anthony Barone's a beast, and he's one of the newest additions to Babymetal, and he's just bringing in a lot of fans because of his other projects. Yes, he's Shadow Intent. He left Shadow of Intent.
Oh, okay, that's what it was. All right, I got you. But yeah, like they can be thrown off as a little bit more of a production band, I guess, as Tank quoted, and I can see that their live performance is huge. But like he also backs it up as, man, these girls work their fucking asses off. Like they know what they're fucking doing, and it just goes hand in hand with it. So would you call it a metal band? They have metal in their actual band name. Is it the metal that I usually listen to? No. I even had a comment earlier. I labeled a band as this hardcore band, blah, blah, blah. And I put metal in there as well. This isn't metal. This is hardcore. I'm like, dude, it's a fucking subgenre of metal. Shut the fuck up. I would consider that like another genre of metal for these girls. So I think they're doing great. I love them.
I think there's a reason why I love Babymetal. And I know why, because there's a metal band that I love from Canada. My favorite metal band of all time is a band I grew up with, and I learned their riffs. It made me a technical guitar player listening to a band. Can you guess who it is?
Is it Protest?
It is. Protest the Hero.
Is it? I was like, the only technical band I know here is Protest the Hero.
Protest the Hero is like one of my all-time like favorite metal bands. Fortress, amazing album. And I think if I never listened to that album, I don't know if I listened to Babymetal because he had such high vocals, and I was like, it threw me off at first, but then I got used to it, and I ended up, now I love high vocals. It's like the only thing I want to really hear in metal. I like that sound like, I love his vocals so much. He's so good. Forgetting his
Rody
name.
Walker.
Rody Walker,
he's amazing. I'm like good friends with those guys. They're fucking awesome. They live like maybe like an hour away from me, but they're actually going on tour right now in the US with Grayscale or Greyhound or something like that. I can't remember what the band name was, but yeah, they're going across tour right now, which is cool because they've been stuck in that way. I don't know, like they're still like small, but I would expect them because I listened to them since Keziah and These Colors Don't Run. Yes. Those days were like, fuck yeah, like seeing him in a venue of 150 people kind of thing. And it's like, these guys are so big, and get to do photos for them and stuff like that. It's been a lot of fun, but seeing them, like I want to see them grow and grow, but like I feel like they're doing their thing and they love what they do. They even had one of the guitar players not guitar players. They had someone from Dragon Force do like a collab with them as well on one of their albums. And then they had a drummer from Lamb of God like start drumming
Chris
for him
Adler
at one point too. Yeah, so it's really cool to see like those kind of things and collabs come in. But Rhodey has been like one of those cool vocals that it's like 80s influenced metal with also really good growls and screams and stuff like that. And he did blow out his voice, and he's still trying to get that going for them, but I just hope they do hit that mark where they blow up. I love Protest.
I really thought they were going to blow up with Kazaya. Well, they did, because Kazaya was what put them on the map. The album before that was actually really underrated, I think, if they went and re-recorded that. But Kazaya and Fortress, I thought were like peak Protest Hero, just because.
Oh, yeah.
But I feel like they dumped in all of their great melodies in that one album, because you remember how much it would change so much. And I'm like, because every song on there's amazing. I will argue with everyone. Every fucking song on there is phenomenal from like front to end. You know, it's just so good. But he's always had. But didn't the bassist? I think the bassist wrote that entire Fortress album, which I don't think the bassist is with them anymore. The one that was on Fortress.
No, a riff or Arif or whatever his name was. Yeah, he was a cool guy too, man.
Yeah, and the last album I listened to was Scurrilous. I think those 3 albums are my favorite. Kazaya, Fortress, and Scurrilous. After that, the one with Adler and Volition. I didn't do it for me. Like, I felt like the feeling was just sucked out of the album for some reason. It was good and it's super technical, but it was like too compressed or something. It didn't have that breath of fresh air like you felt with like Fortress, and even Scurrilous had it. It was also a fan-funded album, which is sad for me. I really thought they're going to blow up after Fortress. I really did. Because they were on the map. I remember everybody was like, dude, have you checked out Protest Hero? Have you checked this? And they would send me Fortress, and then finally I listened to it. When I first heard it, though, I was like, oh my God, those vocals.
Yeah.
What?
Dude, Rhodey's a beast, man. I love that guy. And he's hilarious, too. Every time I see him at shows and hang out with him, it's just a good old time. He just feels like a bigger brother kind of thing. And like his stage performance is a lot of fun. Even when his voice might be going on stage. Like I heard one time like he had to step off and the rest of the band just did like instrumental throughout the whole thing, which I thought would be cool to hear because of how crazy they are with their guitars and that. But like even Tim's a really good guy as well. The guitarist, Luke, like they're all great people and fantastic musicians. But yeah, I want those Kazaya Fortress vibes back 100%. Yeah. But I feel like I'm just like so invested in them already where I'm like, yeah, like Tidal was cool as well. There was a couple songs on Tidal that I really enjoyed. But their latest one, like it was fun, but I haven't seen myself going back to it. It's always Kazaya that I go back to.
I'll have to check it out. Oh, that was the EP that I remember. A calculated
it was a small EP, yeah.
A calculated use of sound EP. I think those are very first one.
That's what it was, yeah. The song that I was thinking of has These Colors Don't Run. Yeah, the calculated sound. Anyways, it's funny that sorry, one more story I have a whole tattoo idea that I wanted, and it's all gonna be like I don't know if I'll actually get it, but it's all Process a Hero album. So you know how they have a little bit of everything on here. So this is like my whole plan. So it's like down here will be like the ground side. So you'll see like the Rams and like this and that, and you'll see like the Kazaya flowers popping out from underneath the Rams, and then underneath will be like Tidal with the shark on the hand kind of thing. So it goes to like water, earth, and then up to the sky, which I want. What's it called? Like those Zelda Wind Waker clouds, like up in here and come across my chest here. And then space up here, which would be cool as well. So all like your elements of like earth and space. But like underneath the cloud, I want the Wizard of Oz tower coming out from underneath it. So it's like upside down. And then there's a plane that's crashing into the tower with a banner that says everyone's naive. And that's one of my favorite lines in like one of their Kazai albums. I think it's K the Suicide of K or something like that. And it's, everyone's naive, and there's a crashing plane with a banner that screams everyone's naive. And that's just been like my whole big Protest a Hero tattoo that I want.
I didn't realize
I've had it since I was like 18.
I didn't realize you were such a fan of Protest Hero.
They're very local. They're Ontario. And dude, growing up in bands, like I loved going to their shows, they have a little side project. It was Tim and Rhodey, and it was called Cheddar Cheese and the Mouse Traps, and it was like a comedy band, and it was just fucking hilarious. I think Rhodey even had a little podcast going too not too long ago. I don't know if he's still doing it, but yeah, they're funny guys.
I have to get them on for an interview sometime. But I absolutely love
me and Burb did one with them. It was fun.
They're the reason why I play progressive metal. Like they are. I learned so many songs from Fortress and made me such a good guitar player. Not that I'm good, but they made me better at guitar. and that there's one of those bands that like changed my playing a lot because I looked up to him so much when I was listening to him in high school, and I'm like, this is just so good. I remember just trying to learn those right, just spending hours trying to get that
time shifts are crazy.
Yeah, it's the Wretch. Yeah, one of my favorite songs off the album. But anyways, yeah, I could geek out about
that. Would be like one of my gateway bands too. I'd be like, go listen to Protest the Hero.
Yeah. I don't know those high vocals. I don't maybe
maybe till an 80s, like an older generation of metal. Maybe if you listen to like maybe Iron Maiden or like Motley Crue kind of thing, but like maybe listen to this because it's got like those vibes in there. I don't know.
The thing with Brody though is when he hit those high vocals, like it still didn't sound 80s. I get what you mean, but it was like a modern sound. Nobody sounds like that guy. I really feel like they're so underrated.
I found one band that I came across that kind of sounds like it. Actually, there's a mimic band as well. I forget what it's called. But there is a band that sounds identical to Protest the Hero. Voice and all guitars. It's weird, but it's neat. But there is another band that I just came across that's like progressive, but neat, and also has like that roadie vibe when he sings, but it's not quite there. But I'm like, this is fucking sick. So I'll have to send that over to you later.
But I think the biggest thing too is the melody writing. But I wonder if a lot of the melodies in those two albums had a lot to do with the bassist. I wonder. Because it does say he wrote.
I know he wrote a lot of it.
Yeah, he wrote a lot of those. I wish that bassist would. He's fucking phenomenal. Whatever happened to he went to school, right? I think he left to go to college or something like that.
I really don't remember.
Yeah.
The only like real memory I have of that guy is I remember watching him play. I was doing photos for him and everything. And it was like in a 500 room venue in Hamilton, Ontario. And I just remember one of the security guards were just being fucking stupid. And he like stopped and basically kicked the fucking security guard and started yelling at me like, yo, fucking do your job. Like, these people out here paid for this money, protect them, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, it was like one of those moments, which I've had another one of those moments recently, but that was fun. But yeah, I love those guys.
It said he left to do other projects in 2014. The band announced departure on April 2nd, 2014. Okay.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah. Wait, you got to tell that story now, though.
My other story?
Yeah, what's your other story?
I have a whole video up on it, but
okay.
Long story short, like I was at an Alpha Wolf show. I don't know if you know who Alpha Wolf is, but they're off Sharp Tone. And they were playing. I had my 360 cam. I was doing some video for Alpha Wolf and that. And yeah, like during the set, there was a crowd surfer that came across, and one of the security guards was like pointing him out, jumps down. You can go watch the video. Well, he basically pulled him by his foot to get down and just started feeding him shots to the face.
Oh, I did watch
I could not believe it. Yeah, and I had it all on my fucking 360. So like now even like it was like a week after that, I obviously made a video about it and stuff, and they were all fucking butthurt and stuff. And apparently there was like some other shit that went down with him prior to this, and it's wow, this guy's got a lot. Like, how is he not fired from all this? Blah blah blah. So I guess he might have laid down. I don't know if he's still there or not. But then I had like his mom's in my fucking DM saying like, you're ruining his life. I'm like, you're a fucking idiot. Like, why the fuck would you, like, your job is to kick people out if they're going to act like that, not smashing people in the face. Even if they were maybe hurting people or something like that, that's not your job, is to like violently beat somebody up like that. In my opinion, that guy should be fired and not be working in those conditions again. But yeah, it was just interesting because like now, trying to get back into that venue, I try to go in with my 360 to like, yep, you can't go in there with that. I'm like, why? And I thought I was going to get a little bit of what's it called? A little bit of a pushback from it. I'm like, all right, can I bring a selfie stick in? Nope, you can't use that either. I'm like, can I use my cell phone? Nope, probably not. Can I use a gimbal? Nope. And he's just giving me straight answers. The other security guard just like trying not to get me in type deal. I'm like, this was during the Era show as well. So I texted up, what's his name? JT from Era. I'm like, bro, they won't let me in with my fucking camera gear. And I had a photo pass. I had all access, all this and that from him. And he's like, what the fuck? And I sent them the video. I'm like, this is probably why. So yeah, sucks. But it's now it just, I don't want to go to that fucking venue anymore. Like it's put a bad taste in my mouth from it. And I hope that guy doesn't get a job in this field at all again.
And you can see here, guys, check out the video. It's called Security Punches Alpha Wolf Fan in the Face 5 times. And you have the view of this happening, which is crazy. So he shows this in his video. Make sure you go check it out. I'll drop a link to in the description. Dude, that's crazy. Look at him. He's just punching. So for those listening, this guy's just straight punches to the fucking face. Full out, too. He is not holding back.
Pulls him down and just feeds him. Yeah, he's swinging.
He's swinging. Like, I'm just watching. But he doesn't stop, though. It was just like a straight through punch. That's crazy. Dude, insane.
Yeah. So I'm not allowed to bring my 360 camera into that venue anymore.
For them, it's a liability, I'm sure. They're like, oh, fuck, this guy's got proof now. He can't be still working there. They had a...
I heard he is. I think it was the Day to Remember show. Someone texted me and said, this fucking asshole's still working here. I'm like...
That's crazy,
insane.
Dude. That's crazy. Guys, this has been a fucking fun-ass show. I hope to do it again with you soon sometime. This has been
this is cool to talk about stuff like this.
Make sure you go check out his channel. Dude, congrats on the fucking 200,000 subscribers too. That's wild. I didn't even realize.
Thank you.
You're like 200K already. So make sure you go check him out. You can check out like videos like this. Security punches Alpha a fan in the face. He has awesome reactions over there. If you didn't know and you came here because of Babymetal, he has a bunch of Babymetal reactions. He's done Jiluka reactions. We have a lot of fans of Jiluka on this channel also. So check out his reactions. They're fucking awesome. I promise you'll love them. And there's a link to one of his videos somewhere at the end of here. If you're watching on YouTube, if you're listening on the podcast, we appreciate you listening in. You can always check out the video versions over here on YouTube. See you all in the next one, guys. See you.
Thank you.